Oh hey, good morning. It has been a while. The weather is quite good today. Pretty fantastic actually. So I thought I'll go out for a early morning bike ride. So I am on a rental, city bike. But as always, I chose the wrong one. It's very squeaky. Yeah, but that's all good. Early morning, 6 a.m. Yeah, I don't want to complain too much about the bike, but here we go. I think around this time of the year, I become a little bit more active. I think it's, due to the weather. Okay, it's a green, let's make a left. Apologies, I haven't been online for a while really. Been terribly busy at work. Well, that's life, isn't it? Well, it's nice to see the streets are empty. It's 9 a.m. Of course it's empty, right? So let's wait for the traffic light here. So we've got like 6 people in the chat room. YCR, hello, good morning. Out for a early morning bike ride. Again, not my bike, it's a city bike. Not the best bike in the world, but this will do for the morning. Time is 6 a.m. 6 past 6. It's not that warm really, it's quite chilly, but it will get warmer during the day, so it's all good. So I don't have a bike mount for the phone, so I don't think I can check the chat room too often. So if you could just bear with me on the frequency of my responses to the chat room, and the squeaky bike, of course. It is quite loud, but that's the vibe and what we have this morning. bumpy. You know what though? Living in Japan made me a bit of an introvert, I think. Okay, that's the train tracks, and that's the Takanawa Gateway Station on the left, where you see a lot of construction. You can see the Shinkansen go by as well. It's rather quiet this morning right now. But again, it's always fun to look at the train. No trains going by, not even one. Well, it is 6 a.m. So if we see one, it could be the first train. Just try and see if I can adjust the screen a bit. There we go. There's a guy over there waiting for a train with his phone, and a dog as well. No, he doesn't have a dog. It was his bag. Sorry. Well, you can see the Tokyo Tower from here, which is a great view actually. Well, I never say anything's great, so it really means great. You know what? I just want to ditch this bike. It's just horrible. I'll try to ditch the bike, okay? And just rather walk. I need to find a map to see where I can ditch this horrible bike. Well, I hope you can hear me, by the way. Because I can't check. State Tokyo University on the left. I can't tell you whether that's a good one or not, because I know nothing about it. An avid runner. I would love to run, but I don't know, I just can't be bothered because I don't know, lazy, I guess. I'd rather just hop on a bike, really, and try to eat less, which is always hard. Right, let me look at the map. Okay, I found a place where I can ditch this horrible bike. Oh God. Oh, look at that car. What kind of car was that? I'm not sure. Some better view of the tower. Tap go first. Oh, I found it. Now I can ditch this bike. This is where I will get rid of this bike. And just rather walk, really. It's just utterly noisy. Power off. That's off. Lock. Drop. Okay, that's done now. Okay. So, let's just walk. Bloody hell. Horrible bike, innit? Almost killed my ears. Right, where were we? Right, you can see the Tokyo Tower right up there. I haven't been up there for years. think the camera angle's pretty good, which is very rare. I rarely get it right. You know, these days, good stuff about work is that, you know, they tell you that you can make mistakes, which I think is fine. We all make mistakes, but back in the day, it wasn't like that, you know. Not a bad view. Let me just wait for the traffic lights. Not a bad place to wait for a traffic light, is it? I think we have a Russian friend. I don't speak Russian, so I don't know what you mean, but hello. Well, there's a gas station on the right. Very odd station for, you know, for a gas station or petrol station or whatever you might want to call it. I think I can do a drink. Let me get my payment working. I'll have the Mgicha. Yes, I just paid out with my phone. Oh God. That's what I got. Mgicha. I like these. Very pleasant. It says it's yasashi, which means it's like soft or something. But of course, I'm not an expert with Japanese language. I might sit down for a bit to have a drink. Oh god, oh, sitting down, trying to get this drink. Oh, Magicha, always quite good. I just want to be a bit quiet because there's an old man somewhere near, so right, and we'll be off. What do we have here? Embajada de la República de Cuba. A Cuban embassy. That's what it says. Well, the weather is getting warmer, which is always good. Oh, I can see my own shadow. That's cool. You know, these narrow streets, they always have vibe, you know. Although I never have the time to hang out in one. But they do have a vibe. You can't doubt that. Right, I'm not going to jaywalk. Of course I should behave. So I think one of the top tips about Japan is that you have to behave. Otherwise you will get into trouble. It's a red. There has always been, you know, a few idiotic YouTubers trying to create a scene and get into a lot of trouble. What's this? Ah, some food menu. Some fusion Japanese spaghetti, some curry with meat, prawns, sausages, eggs. $350 for ice cream and $250 for coffee. Bloody cheap, you know, centre of Tokyo for that price. Awful, but must be a sober place. Oh wow, you can hear the guy preparing for sober. I won't disturb him. Bloody hell, it's 6:30 in the morning and there's a guy in there preparing for his 11 a.m. business. So that's dedication. Dedication right there. Japanese work ethics. It can be a bit extreme at times, you know. You're not allowed to park here. Honestly, you're not allowed. Oh, I almost jaywalked. I won't do that, of course. You know, even the supermarket is closed. It's too early. But I think the best time is to walk around when no one's around. Well, when I was a bit younger, I used to really like cars, and at this time, Saturday morning, I used to always go out for a quick drive, you know, for a cup of coffee. Stop doing that now. Car maintenance has become very expensive. And no, I don't drive electric. Not a fan. Oh, hello. I can see myself in that reflection right there. It's interesting because some houses are pretty old and some houses are very modern and new. So in these alleys, a lot of, you know, it's a bit like a time machine, you know. You can see the past, you can see the present. You know what I mean. Hotel Alpha Inn. What's that? Doesn't look like a hotel, but I guess it is. Interesting entrance. An Italian restaurant. You know, I always forgot where I park my cars. Looks like it's over here. A Lambo Huracan. And is that a 964? A vintage 911? In an alley somewhere. I don't know what they're doing here, but it must be like a tuner or a car rental company. No idea. Nice cars though. You know what I wish? I wish I can change the thumbnail of this video, but to be utterly honest, I don't know how to do that. I know it sounds rather stupid, but it's true. I don't know how to change that thumbnail. What a nice Maybach. Must be a professional driver. Well, the good thing about this park is I don't see anyone, so I can talk. Oh goody, I'll sit down for a bit. Oh, that's better. Get some drink. Mugicha. What time is it? 6:38. Still early in the morning, but this is central Tokyo, so it's going to get really busy. Like it's around 9 AM. People do rise early here. But what's really good about central Tokyo is that you can find parks like this in a lot of places. I find it's quite rare, you know, in city centres. So I think this is pretty brilliant. One of the nice things about Tokyo, really. I think we've only got like 7 people in the chat room, but I think a lot of people ask me, is it expensive to live in Tokyo? It really depends. It really depends where you're from, or where you are right now. So I'm saying, it can be subjective. Well, everything is really. I feel like an old person saying that, but it is what it is. I'm going to explore this park a bit. I think there's like a small shrine here. There it is. Well, I kind of worshipped a bit. For good fortune, I guess. That's a cool looking swing. You know, the brilliant thing about Japan is that when you see those little swings, you can tell that they're being maintained properly. Nice house on the right. Massive garage for like 4 cars, I think. I wouldn't mind that. But again, I don't want to go through car inspection in Tokyo. Well, in Japan really, it's a nightmare. Azumi Zaka. Oh god, that was a tough climb. Oh. Monthly parking, 44,000 yen. So that's around $300 to have your car parked on a monthly basis. So is it expensive? It depends. If you're from Manhattan, that's not bloody cheap. But if you're from some parts of the world where parking's free, it won't make any sense for you. You can see a lot of garbage in the morning because they're all waiting to be picked up. Oh, this area is full of hills because we're in Roppongi Hills. That's the Azabu Hills. The new building that gets a lot of attention in Tokyo. It's closed. Let's just all walk around. Of course it's closed. It's 6:44 in the morning. I think that woman's very drunk. She can't walk straight. This is the Azabu Hills. Just looking at the restaurants. Looks like there's a lot of places to eat and drink. Maybe I'll drop by sometime. There's always a lot of policemen around here because we're walking past the Russian embassy. Freude by BMW. I think that means joy in German. I think. Alpina. we just had to walk past a drunk lady. I think she was talking to herself. Very quiet. Of course you should be if you're in Japan. Everybody's quiet. Because if you're not, they will call the police on you. A religious building, very cool looking. No, it says Garden Plaza D, sorry, it's a building, commercial. Part of the Azabu Hills backside. I didn't know this side was also Azabu Hills. Massive. Some other blocks of the Azabu Hills. Kamiyacho, station to the right. Roppongi, Ichome straight. That's what it says. I don't know what's up here, but I might go up to have a look. Well, normally I don't go out much, so it's my first time here actually. Oh, you can see the Tokyo Tower from here. Nice. Somebody's house. Looks like a place to eat. Oh, they serve coffee. I might grab a cup of coffee later. After a walk. Oh, a staircase to the outside world. Well, that looked huge. Hello, day 36 pre. Why are you day 36? Curious question. Some very nice houses around here. It's funny, you know, this area is like the neighbourhood, but my first time walking in one. Just shows how busy we are, you know, with life. It's just hard to make, you know, a good time for a walk. Like today, it's pretty rare actually. For me. 7 a.m. That bar is called Kamikaze House. Controversial name, I guess, for some people. Now we're in Toronto Hills area. Well, quite recently, Japan had a lot of buildings constructed, brand new ones, of course. And this is one of them. Azabu Hills was also one of them. Now the question is, who's going to be the tenants of these buildings? Yep, so there's Starbucks on the ground floor. Nothing special about this Starbucks. There's WeWork in this building. A lot of office space, really. So now this leaves some other parts of Tokyo empty because there's new buildings coming up. Some areas are now quite vacant. Hello, good morning, Hirano-san. Saino, ethnic restaurant and bar. Curry and naan. A nice portion, $9.92. Well, the weather is definitely getting warmer, so it's good to walk around. Japan really is, well, Tokyo and, well, all the cities in Japan are great to walk around in. It's nothing like the States. Hirano-san says, at this time, not even the cleaning staff had arrived to work yet. I think you're right. Absolutely empty. Which I love. Nice and quiet. Well, I'm not a fan of noise and, you know, being loud. Because in Japan you just have to be quiet, and if you're loud you're just an idiot, and I don't like being loud. So you can tell that most of these buildings around here are Mori Building, which is a massive organization, really. I don't know what they do, but they own a lot of buildings. I guess that could be what they are doing. Could be their bread and butter. No idea, really. Oh, I love these drink pallets. You know, they look so 80s. Just love it, you know. There's some nice restaurants on the ground floor. I think that would be the Toranomon Hills. You know, buildings and residential area. Well, if you can afford to live here, life won't be that bad, I guess. Still a lot of construction going on, still. Hirano, you're absolutely right. So walking in this peaceful time, well, time of the day, you don't really get to feel the city. But on the other hand, I think there's a lot of other people who are doing it when people are busy, out and about. But I think for me, I just like it quiet, you know. Morning. That's a friendly stuff. Saying morning. I might go there for lunch now, because he just said morning. That friendly stuff. Sometimes a simple hello can actually mean a lot. Well, it depends who you are. Right, Toranomon Hills. Let's try to go up the escalator. I know it's still under construction, but I think it's working. Let's go have a look. You don't have to pay to have a look, right? You know, in recent, I don't know, like decade or 5 years, the construction work in Tokyo is out of hand. There's just so much construction work happening. And I'm talking about mega projects like big buildings. I think it's quite mad. Okay, we're up. It's quite nice up here, you know. Let's get over to the other side. Not a bad view. Not bad at all. Oh, I can see the Tokyo Tower, look. You can't see the whole tower, but you can see, you know, top bit of it. Hirono, you're absolutely right. Here we have a rare scene of one person greeting another, which never really happens, really, right? Oh, let's try to explore the other side. ASHP, hello. Have you lived in Japan for a long time now? Quite a bit, I think. Not too long. Quite a bit. Hirano, probably because they are two foreigners. Oh. Maybe he wanted me to come in and have breakfast. Well, I wouldn't mind some breakfast, but to be really honest with you guys, I really need to shave off a few pounds. I mean, COVID, living in Japan, made me a big man than who I used to be. You know what that means, right? Mr. Fat. That's right. It's COVID and working from home and all that. Another great view of Tokyo. Lots of construction work. Well, in some places. You know what's cool about Tokyo and these buildings? They always have some greenery up, you know, up on the lobby, above the lobby, you might say. There's always some green space where you can walk around, you know, get some fresh air. Something like this. Like the Azabu Hills, Toranomon Hills is also a massive project. I think done by the same guys. Feels like Tokyo has an owner, really. Well, you might say there's an owner for everything. Literally. Nice cafe out here, but it's closed. No sign of it being open. Zero. Or because they're all office spaces, you know. Mostly, you know, not all of them. There are residential spaces too. But, you know, interesting stuff about these residential areas. And, you know, you see some benches out here, nice tables. You rarely see people who live here come out and sit. It's always the visitors who really do. I don't know why. It must be the mental psyche or something. Tiffany Mack, hello. Oh my God, Tiffany, it has been a while. I hope you're well. I'm out for a morning stroll because I just gained a lot of weight. It was a nice little garden, and I need to shave off a few pounds. Well, not a few really. I've just been so busy at work. Hirano says Tokyo would be the paradise for architects, designers and engineers in the world today. Well, Hirano, you're absolutely right, because Tokyo has the most number of architects in the world in one city, which is mind-blowing really, because Tokyo puts a lot of emphasis on nice looking buildings. And that's because they are investing. They invest in the stuff that looks nice still, which is very rare in some parts of the world, you know. Hi Tiffany, I'm very well, thank you. I hope you're well as well. It's a very short bit of a staircase, but there's an escalator, which I'll use. Good Morning Cafe and Grill up there. I've been there once. It wasn't great, but the vibe was okay. But you know, a lot of these westernized cafes, they all kind of taste the same, you know. Well, similar. Well, another thing about early morning walks is not just for exercise, also not to disturb other people in the city, because in Japan you have to be quiet. Now I'll tell you a story. Like elementary schools, kids can be noisy, right? And they always have like PE days, you know, sport days and all that, but Japanese people hate those sports days who live in the neighborhood near an elementary school, and they call the police for the kids being too noisy. So, you know, you just have to be quiet. So, I don't want to disturb anyone. Is one of the reasons. Well, one of the reasons why. So respecting a lot of people's peaceful day. I don't want to ruin people's day. People come to the city, like people who live in Yokohama, Chiba, Saitama, even places further. A lot of Japanese people love to come to Tokyo over the weekend and enjoy the city vibe. and I just don't want to disturb them, you know. It's their weekend. Thank you, Tiffany. I'm having a relaxed walk myself. Oh, I've been to this alley before, had a few drinks 1 or 2 years back. Hirano has said something. Let me try to read it, it's quite long. I would like to know your opinion. The Japanese say that the sign to cross the pedestrian crossing is blue. In my opinion, it is green. What do you have to say about this? I thought it was green. I think it is green. Let's have a look on the next traffic lights. I don't think it's blue. And I didn't know people say it's blue. But I hardly talk to locals. I can see some traffic lights up ahead. They seem to be green, in my opinion. Thanks for asking, Hirano. Good question. Well, Tiffany, how have you been lately? We're missing a few old timers here, apart from you. Right, Tiffany says it's green. Well, there's a traffic light right here. Let's have a closer look. It just went green. But it must be a debate in Japan. Right, Hirano? Must be a debate. Yep, Hirano said it's a discussion that never ends. They say the colour is blue. Tiffany has been working hard as usual. Good. Yes, Tiffany, I did enjoy the cherry blossoms. It was just so crowded, so I just went to the nearest park. Did some hanami, you know, sitting around, having a drink, and all that. Hirano's opinion, the colour is the garbage truck. Is the colour of the garbage truck. You know what? I don't think I've seen a green garbage truck around here. So I'm not sure. I think we're near the Imperial Palace. But when I was less busy, I used to run around the palace on weekends, but of course I stopped doing it. I think that's the Yurakucho station up there. Busy street. Tiffany, I hear you. You have to make time to do things. You just have to sort everything out. Now I have a question for the Japanese folks. Do people work on Saturdays? I see a lot of people going to work on Saturdays. You know what, I'm going to walk by the station to check out the morning vibe of people going to work on a Saturday. Is that right, Hirano? Hirano-san, is that right? But that's the bluest area, or where we are right now. It does seem a bit washed out. Yeah, the green does seem washed out, you know. It looks kind of bluish, but not really blue. Green, still, in my opinion. Now I want to get rid of my water bottle. But of course you can never find trash cans in Tokyo, so I'm going to have to find a vending machine to get rid of my bottle. That way I can get rid of it. I see a lot of running people, runners, left and right. Yeah, Tiffany, maybe kind of washed out green. Can be kind of like blue if you kind of, yeah, if you don't look at it properly, you know, like if you don't pay attention, it might be blue, but it's not blue. Is my opinion. You know, all these buildings in Tokyo is just packed with restaurants on the on the underground and the top floors. But it's amazing how they find customers, because some are not open on the weekends. Another massive construction on the left side. God, I found a vending machine. I'm gonna pop in my drink. So that's how you get rid of bottles in Tokyo. Well, I should have drank all that, but I'm not thirsty anymore. Massive construction. That is a mega project right there. Another one. I don't think there's enough people to go inside these buildings, especially, you know, tenants like businesses, restaurants, office spaces. I don't think there's enough. So I think we'll see some more vacancies, and what they'll do, whoops, I almost got tripped over. So what they'll do, they'll try to get rid of the vacant buildings and do another mega project. So it's like juggling, really. You're switching the balls around. Well, that's how the economy works anyway. Must be the same with Japanese buildings. It's fascinating, really. But at the same time, you need a lot of mega projects to make sure that there's work for construction workers as well. Because they are the people on the bottom end of the pyramid, you know, so there has to be work. So I guess construction solves a lot of problems. Hirano said, can you notice any additional noise when you are next to a building like this? Oh, you mean like construction work? Is construction site noisy? You know, construction sites. Not really. It can be noisy, but there's a decibel meter. Yeah, let's have a look. There's a decibel meter in all the construction sites. I think that's mandatory in Japan, so all construction sites have a meter where it tells you how noisy the construction site is, meaning they keep it really quiet. Well, I think they have to. I think there's a regulation in place. Right, you see it right there, 32 decibels, 55 decibels. That's utterly quiet. Hirano, you're right. So let's have a closer look at the sound meter. I can't read the kanji, so I'm not entirely sure what it really says. Sorry about my stupidity. So it must be like 32 degrees, decibels, 63 from what the taxi just made, you know, the noise. I think that is utterly quiet. I think that's a Yamanote up there, the train. Let's follow the train track. Like I said, I haven't been out walking for like a year. I feel really heavy. Of course, I shouldn't be saying that because everyone's like slim in Tokyo. Well, almost everyone. They're all, you know, slim and healthy. Well, if you don't eat fish and chips and burgers every day, I think your mind can play tricks on you. That traffic light kind of looks blue. It's amazing what your brain can do. But I know that was green, but it looked blue. looking under the train tracks. There's a lot of bars down here, you know, restaurants and all that. Of course, all closed. Yeah, let me walk on the main street for a while. this is early morning Shimbashi. Yes, Hirano, I think I have a very good internet connection, which is very rare in Japan. I've had a lot of trouble trying to do a live stream back in the day when I first started doing this. And as you guys know, well, who have been on the channel for quite a bit, this is not a serious YouTube. This is my hobby, you know, so I like to walk around, you know, sometimes for exercise, sometimes for a chit chat. So, but it was incredibly difficult in Japan to do a live stream because of connection issues. So I guess a lot of that have been solved. It's 7:46 and we are starting to see people. Oh, Tiffany, that is so nice of you. Wow, open at this time. I think some people are drinking. Wow. Well, Tiffany, as always, it's a pleasure having you around. I agree. I have to agree. Just that when people are around, I just want to be quiet, you know. Yeah, I just wanted to be quiet, being surrounded by people. And Hirano-san, you're absolutely right. I mean, for somebody who doesn't do this on a frequent basis, can actually go live full HD. Fascinating, really, the modern technology. So we're in an area called Italian Town, I think. I've never walked here, I always, drive past here. But let's have a look. You never know what you might see or find. Oh, Shinkansen. Always nice to see that, Is that Pyochimon? Pyochimon. Yeah, sorry, my Japanese isn't perfect. Shiodome, that's right. Not a bad place to hang out on the weekend, I think. Don't trust me, I'm not the expert, okay? $7.56. City centre, kind of. I think they call this the Italian Town or something. Let's have a look at the piazza. So this is the piazza, plaza of this area. Nothing special really, but nice open space. I think some people are waiting for someone, and some people think I'm the person that they're waiting for. Shiodome Italia. That's what it says. Is it also a little bit of Spain? So I was gonna try to walk beside the tracks, but it was a dead end, so I'm circling back. There's a lot of dead ends, you know, in Tokyo, because just, oh, that's a nice view. I really like the long nose of that train. Always very nice to look at. So anyway, there's a lot of dead ends streets in Tokyo, so when you walk around it's best to know where you're going. Otherwise you're going to have to do a lot of circling back, getting lost. So, oh hello, again. Yochiman-san says, I love this area. Glad you like it. Tiffany, I agree. Japan is a wonderful place, especially if you love to walk around. But you know, driving around is a totally different story. It's very expensive to drive around in Japan because of the toll fares. It's quite ridiculous. So the toll fare in Japan is the highest in the world. So from Tokyo to Osaka, it cost about $100 just on the tolls, one way, not including any petrol, nothing else, just for the tolls. $100 US. So if you do a round trip, the toll fare alone is $200 US. just by driving to point A to point B. Oh, which stairs? Tiffany, I missed it. There's a lot of staircases here, for sure. Yeah, so Tiffany, from here to Osaka, I think it's about 500 kilometers, which is like 350 something miles. So for that, it's like $100. And if you go on the Shutoko, which is the city highway in Tokyo, it's also not free. You have to pay to get on it. I think it's around $1 US. It's not too bad, but still you're paying for it. So you see where things can really add up if you drive around in Japan. So the best is actually walking around, really, where you can, you know, keep yourself a little bit more fit. And mind you, parking is not cheap in Japan either, so yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. Nice and quiet. 8:06 is the time, Saturday morning. Feels like I've been walking forever, but it's only been like 2 hours, which is not a lot really if you're walking around the city. Well, the sun's out, it's nice and shiny, always pleasant to see. Lovely sunny day. Get across here. There's a nice garden on the left that we can have a peek. Now, is the traffic light blue or green? surprised with the stream quality this morning. It's been pretty great. Quite happy. I think, Hirano-san, you have a very good love, or you have a very high passion for traffic lights. Or the colours. You know what I mean. You know, I wish I could really change the thumbnail of this live stream, but again, like I said before, I don't know how to do it, so apologies with the horrible thumbnail. I know it doesn't look professional. You know, we can check out the park on the left. Oh, Hirano-san, is that right? So, in Japan, locally, people call the traffic light blue. I get it. I see. Giardino all'Italiana. I think they're trying to say it's an Italian garden. There's a lot of stuff about the statue. The letters are tiny, I can't read it. You know, there's a lot of nice condos near here, you know, building, residential area. But one of the biggest downsides is that you can hear the Shinkansen and the trains. So I used to live around here and it was very noisy for me because I lived on the 20th floor, but that was still very noisy. Just trying to say that trains are nice to look at, but if you live near it, it's very noisy. It can do your head in at times, you know, and wake you up. So it seems like Tiffany and Hirano-san, you guys really like it here, which is good. nice and pleasant, nice and warm, not crowded at all. Of course, if you live here, it's not that pleasant, you know, it's very noisy with the trains if you're not really high up. It's a nice park, but I don't see any loos. Now let's head over to the other side. Oh, the Narita Express, I think. I could be wrong, you know, I'm not the expert with trains. I've been on it once, so just saying. Hirano-san, I know what camera you're talking about. You know what's amazing? These little alleys under the bridge are so clean. Hirano-san, you can't find me now. I think. I could be wrong because I don't know the exact angle of that live stream. But you might spot me out. Hirano-san, that's the one, live at one cam Shiodomi. I've seen that camera. You can listen to the nice train sounds. So it's 8:20 now, Saturday morning. It's getting rather hot. Yes, Hirano-san, I know that camera. Yeah, I think it's going to be a hot day. Oh, hello, Harrison Parker. Harrison Parker, it's great to have you here on the channel. Thanks for joining my Saturday morning stroll. That's right, Tiffany, clear and sunny. Very pleasant. The temperature is just about right. Not too hot, not too cold, just about right. Hirano-san, you're right, there was some action with the police and a man blocking an entrance at a construction site. But I think that guy was packing up and trying to leave, so listening to what the police were saying. From my rusty Japanese, of course, I think the police were saying, "You're blocking an entrance." But honestly, if you're not a Japanese, never get in trouble with the police, is what everybody says here. Well, of course, I've never got in trouble with the police, apart from getting a few tickets. You know, when I drive. Another construction site on the left. Well, there's the blue traffic light. Well, it's not blue yet. Tiffany, yes I am. I am a speeder. So I have two cars. So one's a camper van and one is a massive saloon. I don't drive much, but when I do on my saloon, I can drive quite fast. Way over the speed limit at times, not all the time, of course. I'm trying to behave, you know. Well, I should. And Hirano-san says, later in the day it is acceptable for a little noise. I see. That makes a lot of sense, Hirano-san, because the noise back there was a little bit noisier. Tiffany, you have a lead foot as well. Me too. But you know what? I think, you know, in the US, I think everybody drives quite fast. You know, every time I drive in the US, I drive around at like 70 miles per hour, but there's a lot of people doing around 80 or more, so people do drive fast in the US. 'Me too. You have to have your tunes when you drive, and you can drive like an absolute lunatic, or like I do. That's a funny name for a ramen place. It says Men Cry. Is that like literally crying because the ramen is hot? I think that's what the owner is trying to, you know, kind of say. Men Cry. That's a funny name. But cry was like this written in katakana. .33 in the morning. Yeah, that was a funny name for a ramen place, right? I wonder if it's any good though. You'd have to read the reviews on Google. Because you never know, they may have the best ramen. Well, you have to go and find out. Kerry, hello. How have you been? Hi Kerry, all good, all good. I've been just so terribly busy at work. And I couldn't really get out and walk. Well, I was a bit lazy, you might say. Which might be true, by the way. So I need some proper walk. And I'll try to do more of these on early mornings. Because personally, well, physically, I have a condition, so I need to exercise. And the doctors tell me that I shouldn't really gain much weight. I need to stay fit, you know, fit as a fiddle really. But I've been just so, you know, drowning at work. But yeah, I'm just trying to make time. So like, if I'm not really on a live stream, I'm never really doing anything, you know, outside of work. I think that's a simple way to explain it, because, you know, it is a hobby live stream. It is my hobby. Every time I go out, really, I do try to do a live stream. Well, almost every time, really. Jerry, for using the live Nightbot, not Livebot, Nightbot. So we have Nightbot in the chat room. It can be quite useful at times when you want to check out the weather, and it doesn't have a ban feature, so don't feel intimidated by it. Of course, you know, as just a hobby YouTuber, I don't even know how to use it really, but you know, I thought I might give it a go. Hirano-san, that traffic light is definitely green. I don't know how you can see there's a blue. So today I've been walking about 2.5 hours. Well, the tree leaves are green. I see some green leaves over here, same colour as the traffic lights. Anyone fancy a new Mercedes? Listen here, on the left. Ooh, some AMG. An electric Mercedes. I'm not a big fan of German cars. Ooh, Maybach. Well, I used to be a big fan of German cars when I was younger, but no way. Audi, anyone? I think Americans say Audi. Well, some English people do, but I call it Audi. But you know, Audi is easier to pronounce. Oh, Tiffany, I burned all my calories. Well, it was actually like tea, so it didn't have any sugar in it, which was good. You know, I keep looking at the traffic light now, and I keep trying to judge what colour it is, but I still think it's green. I keep looking at it, you know. Yeah, Hirano-san, bicycles makes a lot of sense in Tokyo. If you want to get around in Tokyo, right? Especially. Some more construction site on the left. Yeah, like I mentioned, you know, car ownership is quite ridiculous in Tokyo. So it's, you know, you can get by without a car here, so it's not really a necessity really. But I think bicycle can really help you travel around. But you have to be mindful because you might get your bike nicked, because I think you guys all know, if you follow some of the channels from Japan, you know, people don't really nick anything, but they all nick your bike and an umbrella if you leave it somewhere for some reason. Tiffany, I think you're right, is not exactly green. It does have a hint of blue. Feels a bit like that, you know, that colour from Tiffany's. So it's not green entirely, it's not blue entirely, so it's more like, yeah, like a Tiffany's colour. I'll call it Tiffany's colour. Makes a lot more sense. Thanks for calling that out, Tiffany. It really is a bit of an aquamarine, a bit of a luxury colour, you know, not like a colour out of a palette. Well, there's a garbage truck. That's blue. That is blue. Don't get confused. Now everything is confusing. God. That's a blue truck. That guy's wearing a blue jeans. Oh God, it's gone mental. And that woman is wearing a traffic light t-shirt. You know, that Tiffany's colour tone. God, I can't get it off my head. So I'm gonna hit the park over there. Nothing in the park really. Let's just skip it. Hello Jonas, good to have you on the channel. Not a bad view, is it? You know, cool place about this area is that you're allowed to fish or sightseeing boats. And because you're allowed to fish, a lot of people come fishing. Which I think is cool. It is a beautiful day. Good to have you on the channel. 8:52 is the time. Hirano-san, I agree. There's a lot of places to visit in Japan. So many places to go, actually. Well, you can see the Rainbow Bridge up there. Oh, we've got Peter Dragon. Hello, Peter Dragon. Great to have you here. One of our amazing moderators from the live chat room. Always a pleasure, Peter. You know what, I'm going to sit down for a bit and head back. And I think I can catch you guys again on the next live stream. Well, it's been a pleasure having you guys around. My Saturday will start from now, after this live stream. Not a busy day, but you know, cleaning the house and all that. So anyway, it's been a pleasure, and catch you guys in the next stream. I know the YouTube has a lot of delay before what I say comes up, so I'm gonna wait for a bit and see you guys say goodbye and call it a live stream. Thank you guys, and thanks Kerry. Catch you guys I don't know, sometime in Golden Week probably, which is the week after next. Might catch you on Golden Week, but anyway,